Hello, my name is Charlie. I'm a CU player, or at least I occasionally am. I haven't practiced in a while, but I know the metagame like the back of my hand, and I generally have a quite a little funny, a little silly, a little bit of practice with it. And I kind of know the ins and outs, and I kind of want to talk about something that I don't really see being discussed in the Discord a lot, and I've kind of come to the conclusions is an actual factor in this metagame, and that is a little something. It's really hard to talk about this metagame without talking about ability control. Um, it's really hard to try and like describe since in like the normal Pokemon games, whenever you pull up like Gen 9 OU, for example, ability control isn't a problem. That's not something you're going to be running into. None of the Pokemon rely on their abilities, they just happen to like have really good abilities that can help them out. Like unless it's like a photosynthesis paradoxmon, then you're not going to be running into that many problems with controlling their abilities because you can just phase them out because booster energy. Um, or get rid of their weather because nobody runs electric terrain. Um, so yeah, how do you? What is ability control? Basically, it is denial of the enemy's uh use of just actually useful abilities for them. A lot of Pokemon in CU rely on these abilities, and your ability to deny the enemy of that ability, of that aspect of their Pokemon, is very crucial. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go over a couple examples first of Pokemon that heavily rely on said abilities and why they are very important in metagame shaping. The first one is Mershana, which is, to a normal person, mentioning Mershana is usually like, oh, why are they mentioning Mershana? Isn't that like a fat psychic type that is supposed to compete with Reuniclus? Well, now it can because it's water flying and it has a bulk of 106, 95, 106, with probably the most important. Like it has no attack, it has no speed, but it has a pretty okay 117 base special attack, but it has the very, very niche ability of being a neutralizing gas user. It also has, a very basic move set. It only needs two moves, and it only clicks those two moves because that's all it really needs. So, Mershana, what does Mershana do? It comes in on really powerful threats. Um, a couple of them are notably Mega Legendary. Um, a lot of really powerful special attackers. Let's see. It does not come in the Magearna. Ceramimic is destroyed. While Salamence, while Scoresmith, both of these can run coverage for it, but are not really wonderful answers. Uh, I'll get to Weaving Wonder. Krakoon is it doesn't appreciate Mershana. There's a lot of bugs and grasses in the tier, and also a lot of fire types. And Mershana just kind of says no to all of them. There's a lot of ground types, really. Mershana is basically the trump card to everything that can break through the metagame. It's almost like Snorlax, in it's the fact that it's kind of tier glue. Its ability to completely shut down any abilities. Yeah, it just comes in and it wrecks house, and probably like it's developed sets have been developed specifically to counter Mershana, like ability shield Salackle with dry skin, which sure it takes 40% from like air slash, but it also has dragon dance and can break through after like two dances. So you're at 20 HP and or you're at 20% hopefully, and then you insta kill Mershana. So that's pretty cool. The usual item that's ran is either Walkenberry or Leftovers, and in both cases, it's really good. I could see justification for, like, you know, Rocky Helmet, uh, possibly for Salt Vest, because, like, it doesn't really need the recovery. Like, it's nice to have it, but it doesn't need it. Though speaking of, you can literally run two recovery moves on the same Mon, so you have 16 uses of Roost and Slack Off, and then you have Flip Turn, and then Surf or Air Slash or whatever else you want to run on it. It's just a wall they use in neutralizing gas, and it's really good at what it does, which is denying the enemy of anything fun. Um, Other Pokemon that rely on their abilities that Mershana is really good at checking is Kupooch. Kupooch. Magic Guard, Steel Beam, and that is what it does for a living. It comes in, it clicks Steel Beam, and it leaves. You could also run Brave Bird with Magic Guard. It shuts down Technician sets also that Kupooch could run, and Kupooch itself is probably one of the its ability Magic Guard basically just defines it. Like it is it is a horrific amalgamation of both Corviknight, Clefable, and I don't know what's a fast steel type. I guess Lucario. It's kind of like Lucario. It's like if all three of them, or if it's like if Clefable and the Corviknight as a core had a child, and then that child was able to like mow through people. Like if like it was designed for hyper offense, and that is what Kubuch does. It's not even a hyper offense mon. It's used by everybody, and it's just really strong. It has a lot of utility moves, and a lot of it is because Technician and Magic Guard are really good enablers for like shift gear and shift gear into like I don't know, dual wing beat and gear grind. Though those don't really need technicians, so you could run like Brave Bird and Steel Beam. Those are two big ones. Wild Charge and electric moves in general are used a lot on Kupooch. Um, Kupooch really relies on Magic Guard, and yeah, Aegislash has stance change, but I don't believe that can be negated by people. So onto the poison healers, the big people of why I'm talking about this. Without poison healers, this metagame would most likely fall apart due to the you know, incredibly powerful heavy hitters. I mean, each poison healer has a weakness that can be exploited, but the first one to talk about is probably the poster child of them, Circuit. I forgot that you can't look up anything in the current browser. That is not good. So you take a circuit, right? Take a circuit, you give it poison heal, you give it it's a bug dragon type, which is a really unique typing, first of all. It has really good defenses at 85, 195, which isn't beaten by Mershana, but it's relatively good. I wouldn't say this Pokemon is an offensive Pokemon. It has three abilities that are individually able to poison a target and then give them different stat debuffs. Really, the one that you're going to be giving them, though, is Exhausting Venom, which you basically use Exhausting Venom, and now they are, how do I put it? Uh, just a tank. You can just stall them out with Exhausting Venom. They Circuit also uses Gastro Acid and also has a lot of options in like Befuddling Venom and Enraging Venom to deal with. Well, Enraging is for special attackers because it raises physical, and the opposite is for Befuddling. I believe it also has Encore or Torment thrown in there for both of them, so I'm not sure. But yeah, Circuit sits on people with Poison Heal and just absorbs it. Meanwhile, to be a little more fast-paced, Electric Campus, male, or I guess female, has Poison Heal also, and is a 100, 105, 105 bulk with Poison Heal, and it kind of switches in. It rolls Scald and Discharge, and then it leaves. It's usually used as a defensive counter for Kupooch, and is also really good against like like most of the water types in this tier, ignoring actually no, I don't think there's a Swampert equivalent. Yeah, you could basically just take a water type and just be like, nah, I win. You get burned, you get paralyzed, and then it leaves. And then probably one of the final Pokemon for this is Poison Heal Vegehog. Vegehog has Rough Skin also, but Poison Heal is used by everybody because it's the most consistent form of healing, and yeah, Veg just kind of clicks Facade with that because it has, Stab Normal. It is a normal type of Poison Heal, so it can use Facade. It can spin, it can set hazards. It's kind of just another Poison Heal mon that you have to worry about. And it does mean that there is one Pokemon that is really good at dealing with Poison Healers, but also has the problem of being a Poison type in itself. So it has to deal with Hedgehog. And it doesn't do it very well if Hedgehog is running Earthquake, because then if it's running Earthquake, that means it can hit it for super effective damage, and now that Pokemon is not doing so well, which kind of sucks. Another Pokemon that I should talk about that it relies on their ability is Sharpness on Korotrek, because it has Sacred Sword and it has Twix, Twix Pendant, and both of these are able to hit the opponent for super effective damage and also be boosted by 1.5 times because of Sharpness. I mean, fighting and ice is really good coverage, and then you boost their power with Sharpness, and now this guy has no downside, and he's like really hard to kill. He's basically Weavile. He's like Weavile if you gave him drugs or something. So yeah, you have to deal with Weavile, which really sucks. Relies on Sharpness. Mershana is really good at handling it, but then again, Mershana is another Pokemon that you want the ability to be gone with. So, okay. And fine, I'm gonna talk about the last one real quick. Sarah Mimic with its Shattering form. Basically, if you hit it, it lays down a spike. It is actually terrifying. I believe it also puts in a defense drop, but that isn't really the biggest thing. Other Pokemon have abilities that I should probably mention, but I'm not going to go through the full list because that isn't the full focus here. The focus is how to deny them of that precious ability of theirs. The first method, of course, is using Mershana. Mershana has neutralizing gas. It sits there and it uses neutralizing gas to negate abilities and allow hazards and other things like say I don't know, toxic goes into effect. Like Electrocampus, it can just kind of Walkenberry tank and then it dies from I don't know, what does Mershana have? I'm pretty sure it has some really powerful stuff, but like what on it? Yeah, it has Psyshock, Psychic. Has I believe it has Future Sight still? No, it doesn't. If it had Future Sight, then it'd be way better, but it doesn't. It does have Trick Room and it does have Flip Turn, so it can kind of just be a pivot. That's really cool. Um, Another Pokemon that's really good at denying abilities is Tier Staple Weaving Wonder. I could go on an entire rant about this thing. Um, this is kind of the I'm gonna call it the mascot of CU with how people really like it. As in people, I mean the 5 people who still play this minigame. Um, but still, Weaving Wonder has a lot going for it in the ability denying apartment, particularly because it's probably the best Gastro Acid user. Circuit also is really good at Gastro Aciding people, but Weaving Wonder's consistency is able to just kind of launch it in there and it does its own thing. And it also is immune to neutralizing gas due to photosynthesis, which is okay, I guess. I mean, it also has Technician, but it doesn't really have a use for it, so you could just pop a booster energy on it, and then boom, it doesn't even use its ability much. The best thing it can use out of Technician is Pursuit Technician spam, which it never really gets the chance to because we don't really have a prominent Psychic type. So, Weaving Wonder is just kind of there in spirit. I wouldn't say it's good at what it does, or that it's good at its initial purpose, but Okay, whatever. It uses photosynthesis and it kind of just denies Pokemon like the Poison Healers and Mershana of their ability, and then it leaves because, no, screw you. It's also really good at staying healthy because of Strength Sap and its ability to use Black Sludge, which is a hard to deny variant of the other one. It has it's the only Pokemon in the tier with webs. So, along with ability denial, it's also great speed control. It has access to taunt, which blocks a lot of the passive Pokemon in the tier. It has knockoff, has clear smog. It has so much going for it. It has Swords Dance in case you want to surprise sweep somebody. Pursuit was already talked about. It has, for Christ's sake, this thing has Fell Stinger. I mean, it also has Toxic Thread, which I guess has the niche application of probably doing something to one Pokemon. But yeah, this Pokemon's just really weird. I mean, like Acid Spray's really good, Electro Web's really good. It just has a lot of good utility moves, and it also among them has Gastro Acid. And Gastro Acid, is ability denial. It's able to deny people of their ever so powerful abilities. I forgot to talk about one of them. I should probably do that. Lediary. It has Comet Punch, which is the biggest enabler for any Pokemon to ever exist ever, period. Imagine if Arceus's stats were completely physical leaning, but it had the ability, I don't know, like God Complex to where it turned all physical moves special. Yeah, no, that's basically what Comet Punch does. Like half of Lediary's moves are punching moves, and it turns them from physical to special. And it has a special attack that is really good. It also has Quiver Dance and Drain Punch, which turns special and has like 90 power. So it just kind of mows through everything. And it's really hard to stop once it gets going. It's quite frankly Volcarona on some type of drug. I'm not sure what. My guess is methamphetamine, but that's just me. So yeah, Lediary really likes that ability. Weaving Wonder switches in flawlessly and then clicks Gastro Acid and completely ruins Lediary's day. It does this for Mershana, it does this for every poison healer, which it is able to actually trap with Sticky Web, by the way, or Pursuit. It has access to both of them, and it can do both of them at the same time and just watch their health whittle away while you sit there. But Weaving Wonder has one weakness, and that is Hedgehog, which is a poison healer. It is a ground type and is able to do super effective damage, and that ruins Weaving Wonder's day. Oh, the horror! Oh, the misery! So, what else? What else is really good at ability denial? Let's see. Let's see. Ability denial. I believe. I wonder if anybody has entrainment. Because if not, I'm gonna get on to my final. Nope, nobody has entrainment. I'm gonna get on to my kind of final form of ability denial, and that's Moderno. The reason why Moderno is really good in this metagame is because of Trace. You know about that really good ability that you have that's used on defensive walls? So what if there is a wall breaker who could steal those and then use them to click Facade 5 times and win? Yeah, that's what Moderno does. It traces Poison Heal and then clicks Facade for the rest of the game. It doesn't need a Swords Dance because of how powerful, Sap Facade is at full power, but yeah, you just max out its attack and speed. You make the speed the faster one because you need to be able to like outspeed most Kupooch sets. Trace them, get an SD off, hopefully not die. Use the Toxic Orb that you're running around with. Yeah, a non-poison heal Pokemon using Toxic Orb as its main item because of how powerful Facade is. That is insane. It has Poltergeist, which is really good. It has Rock Slide that hits Circuit. It powers through Hedgehog, it powers through Circuit, it powers through I believe it's kind of stopped by neutralizing gas Mershana, which kind of sucks because, copying neutralizing gas is A, something you cannot do, and B, a really bad idea because like what are you gonna do with that? So yeah, and then Rock Slide. Oh boy, Rock Slide. I love Rock Slide. Hits Circuit. Electric Campus is obliterated by Facade. All of the you know, it's like, oh, it's a normal type. Just switch in a ghost type. Ah, wrong. It has poltergeist. Yeah, the wrong choice, buddy. Oh, you have a steel type? Oh no. Okay, I click poltergeist. It doesn't matter anyway. And you have a rock type? Oh, we don't really have those around here, but just in case, we have poltergeist. I'm pretty sure we have like one rock type. Yeah, no, it's Crystallier, and nobody uses Crystallier because you can't just remove soul shards now. Um, or you can remove soul shards now, which means they're actually useful. Um, though heavy duty boots exist, so like I'd rather if there's an entry hazard, it would be like unique, like I don't know, dampening, like puddle. There we go, puddle. That's an entry hazard where you like throw down a puddle and everything that comes in has the effects of damp, or like nothing can explode or something. I don't know. Just continuing on though, Moderno has SD, which means that its lack of speed can be made up for by the fact that you can invest all into it with a 390 or 339 as its max speed. The only thing you need to worry about speeding you is like fast Kupooch sets after setup or something. Just yeah, fast Kupooch and Palladion. I would talk about Palladion, but it's not a Pokemon I want to talk about. Like it's why? Yeah, Weaving Wonder is just yeah, it denies abilities, and then Moderno uses said abilities and just kills whoever has it. So, how do you deal with ability denial? Because, I'm kind of tiptoeing around with, or around how you would deal with denying said abilities. How would you negate this? A good contender is Aegislash, who, you can't change his ability because it's stance change. You can't change stance change. It just shuts down the Pokemon, so you can't turn it off. Instead, Aegislash comes in, has 90 speed. It clicks Encore on Gastro Acid, and then it uses that to like I don't know, use Algae Latch on whoever comes in, and then hit KOs it with a crit or something. That's one option. Another Pokemon is Weaving Wonder, who can absorb Gastro Acids really easily because it doesn't really need its ability. Another Pokemon that doesn't really need its ability is I mean Mershana again. Mershana is like the core Pokemon here. Um okay, let's see. Ah, yes, ability shield. So Mershana has a very unique counter in Slackle, where it uses its ability shield and Dry Skin to be immune to Surf. I've talked about this earlier, and I don't really need to reiterate it much, but ability shield in general just completely shuts down this metagame thing in general. Where like, oh, you can gas harass at me, not but then you're wasting your item slot on that. So I don't know. It's really hard to like completely understand. Um, I don't know. I haven't played this metagame in forever, so I don't have a complete understanding of everything at the moment. I don't think much has changed, but who knows? Who knows? um, Gosh, I didn't even put out enough content that warrants a bathroom break. I'm just done now. This is weird. Okay. Um, I guess to the 5 CU players that exist, I hope this video is helpful with a funny concept that I made up specifically for this video. And yeah, I guess it's just a video talking about Mershana and Weaving Wonder because of how central they are to the metagame and just how to handle them in general. Like you need to run a ground type because of Weaving Wonder, but then you also have to deal with Mershana because you're running a ground type. So it's a complicated thing going on. I guess that could be a core that could be worked out. Mershana and Weaving Wonder as like a defensive stall core. Oh well. Um, I'll see everybody on the flip side. Peace.